we've got to soak it up when we can. We'll rinse this as long as we can.
Yeah, yeah.
No matter how bad Man United are, they still got that our league position is a problem. It's a massive. Oh, you should be supporting British teams in Europe, and you should be no.
Back to One Way Football. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you're watching around the world. We are back with one-on-one fan talk, and I'm joined here today, not only the superstar of One Way Football, the biggest Tottenham fan in the world, Johnny, and his son, Harry. How are you both feeling, lads?
Ah,
What, man?
over the moon. Still,
Yeah, over
still
the
trying
moon.
to, still trying to get to grips with it all. To be honest, after a week,
Has it sunk in? Has it
it
sunk in
hasn't
yet? Or...
really. It hasn't. It all happened so quick. So obviously, we won it on the Wednesday, parade on the Friday. We had an awards thing on the Saturday, and then Tottenham Brighton on the Sunday. I came back on Monday. I've got a bit of a cold, and it's just been a lot going on, But
I mean, did you stay up there then? Did you stay up
yeah, so
in London?
I didn't go to Bilbao, but I watched the final at the Tottenham Stadium,
Yeah, I've
and
seen it. Yeah.
I stayed in London for 5 or 6 nights with him.
That was a bit
So
of a weird one, that one to me, because I heard a lot of Spurs supporters actually complaining about how small the screens were, though.
I tell you what
They could have
happened.
had them
So
a bit bigger.
yeah, originally, so in the Champions League final in 2019, they put screens on the pitch. So when they announced for this final that they were going to do screening, originally it was only the 4 screens in the corner of the ground that are normally there.
Ah,
There was a bit of
yeah.
uproar, and they did put 9 screens in the end on the
Right.
pitch.
On
So
the
and they were
pitch, yeah.
fine. They were fine. They weren't
Yeah,
bigger than as big as the 2019 ones, but they were fine.
yeah.
They were
That was
visible. Yeah,
good.
yeah, it was
It
good.
was
Yeah,
good.
they're big
And
enough.
just
Yeah.
the whole experience then of being there was just overwhelming, was it?
It was, yeah. It was just because obviously, as you know, James, we don't win that often, and we've got to soak it up when we can. We'll rinse this as long as we can now, but it was just amazing. We ran onto the pitch after the game illegally, but we did it.
Well, I have to just like stop you there because
Yeah,
I did have to laugh that the announcer said, "Can you all leave the pitch now? Because we do have a Premier League game on
yeah,
Sunday
on
against Brighton."
Sunday. Whilst he was saying that, there were certain sections of the supporters just ripping the pitch up. So um, it was good, yeah. So it was just the whole thing was just carnage. I mean,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
parade
yeah,
itself was 250,000 people. It's
yeah.
just a lot. But yeah, I'll do it all again.
You
Absolutely.
know,
Yeah,
and I do like I said, look, I have to give you respect in that because I am an Arsenal fan and fair play. 17 years is a long time not to win anything, and when
yeah,
you do finally win something, then you've got no excuse not to celebrate and
yeah.
the way you did because
Mm,
it was us in that position. We'd be exactly the same as
yeah,
you guys are. Do you know what I mean? And I can't stand all these Arsenal fans that saying, oh well, this and that. You won a trophy at the end of the day. It's it's a big thing for you guys because, like you say, you don't win very often. And now that
yeah,
you have won something, there's no coming at you with anything really. I would suggest that maybe the final was a bit like watching the
yeah.
Rangers versus Celtic. like,
To be honest with
no,
you, it
even
wasn't.
though they have a good
Yeah, it wasn't a great final, but I don't think we care. I think that we've
no,
got the goal was scrappy. It
yeah,
went in.
Johnson. It was Johnson, wasn't it?
Well, they've given it to Johnson. I mean, I've looked at it over and over. It looks like it come off shore last, but we don't care. It's we won it, and
Yeah,
Man United. Don't
yeah.
get me wrong, Man United had their chances towards the end. They were rattling the goal, but they're not clinical enough, and I think we deserved it on the night.
I think you've got a fear of Man United now because they just look too shaky still. Even going into that preseason, I know they won 3-1 today against Hong Kong, but
Oh, did I finally win today? I didn't know.
yeah. But it's just,
Yeah, he saw it.
Someone scored.
yeah.
Saw it.
But going like looking forward for Tottenham, that's a good thing for you guys because now you can kind of progress on that. You're in the Champions League, you can start attracting players that you
Yeah.
need. Um,
Well, I look at.
okay, there's
Excuse me. Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry, a bit poorly still from last week, but I I look at Man United and they signed Cunha just like that. And no matter how bad Man United are, they still got that pull, haven't they? They still got that big club mentality of we're going to find these players. So
it's never going to go away, is it? No,
it isn't. No, it isn't. So I just wish our chairman was like that. We'll come to that a bit later on. But on the night, deserved it. We've had our party, and we'll just let it sink in now.
And now to move on to the Premier League, which has been an absolute shocking season for you. And I know that a lot of Spurs supporters will be just saying, this trophy has kind of saved us from that, acknowledging where we was in the league. I mean, 22 losses. There's not been a team that's gone 22 losses and not been relegated. It's absolutely, it's mental. It's crazy.
Yeah. So first of all, we're very lucky because of the three below us were atrocious. So that saved us. I actually think if Ipswich, Leicester or Southampton were a little bit closer to us, I don't think we would have lost that many games. I think it'd be in the back of their minds, actually, we're going to get relegated here. We need to step up. But I think it was a case of we're not going to go down and we're doing well in Europe. They took their foot off the gas. And it's two different teams. But it's unacceptable, James, to finish 17th with 22 defeats. It's not acceptable for any club, and especially Tottenham. So it needs addressing. But you're right.
It was one of them things. Sorry, to interrupt you, but it was one of them things for me as an Arsenal fan. Great, this is great. The gap and everything, and then you go and win the Europa League. I'm like, oh, that's just completely brushed that all away.
Yeah, I know, and people say, oh, well, we should have gone through Champions League. We don't make the rules. We the rules are the rules. It's been like that for 15 years, I think. Teams drop going into the Champions League if you win it. All of a sudden, Tottenham are in it. Oh, no. So we don't care about that. We're in it. And, our league position is a problem. It's a massive problem. But
does this trophy save Poch, though, his job? What's your thoughts on Poch? Sorry, Poch.
Ange, you mean?
Ange, yeah, sorry.
Well, I'll be honest with you, right? I'll be brutally honest. Before the final, I was fuming. He was fuming, right? Hannah's fuming. We're all fuming. The neighbours are fuming because this guy couldn't. Every time I sat down to watch him, we got beat. Yeah? No matter who you play, what opposition he was, we're getting beat. He got to a stage where he got to game 30, right, let's watch it. We're going to get beat again, and we got beat.
Yeah, because even in the group chat that we're in, it was just you got to that point where you didn't really care. He was like, yeah, well.
The same with United, they're in that same position. So then I look at it, hang on a minute, we're doing all right in Europe here. We're sort of plodding along. When we beat Frankfurt home and away, that was the turning point. Because then you see you've got Bodo Glimt in the semi, thinking, hang on, you're 1 foot in the final. I wanted him out. I'm not going to lie, I was seething with him. He stands there, arms folded and whatnot. Yeah. Now, I've got to give him some credit because he's won this trophy. And I think if they sack him, just say they get rid of him, any manager coming in is going to go, well, hang on a minute. The man's just won a trophy for the club in 17 years.
Yeah.
Who am I going to be if I win a trophy? Will I get sacked? So it doesn't look good if they get rid of him. So I think we should give him another season, or at least until Christmas, and see where
it's like being in a job, isn't it? Like anywhere, and getting your goals set for the day, but then you meeting all them goals, but then say that you've misrung something on a till or something, and then they're going, oh well, he's made a mistake there, but then he's
bad at that. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Look, we have had injuries, and I'm not using that as an excuse because it got to a stage where we had our team back and we were still losing. It does disrupt things. And I think if you lose your main players over a season with any team, like you've got rid of Salah and Gravenberch and all that lot, they're going to struggle. Same with Arsenal if you take out Rice and Odegaard and whoever else.
Yeah.
So we did have a spine where we did Romero and Van der Ven were out for a long period of time. I think he'll get it right next season. I've got a little bit of faith in him, and I'd like to see him just progress from this. because we are a cup
In
team
a
anyway.
sense,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, in a sense, the board have kind of got to like now make the decision. I
Mm.
mean, he's already said that he came out with that remark, the third
Mm.
season's better than second in TV
Yeah.
shows and whatnot. Um, and now he's backed it up though. He said he wins in his second season a
He said
trophy, and
it.
he did it.
People laughed at him and they mocked him. Even Spurs fans mocked him. What's he
Yeah.
talking about? But he's done
But
it.
I was
Yeah.
just reading an article then, and Tottenham's manager still
Mm.
expected to leave the London club side in the summer despite winning Europa League, and says he's got 5% chance of staying. That's obviously because we haven't come into anything yet, like with the summer on the
Well,
transfers or whatever. And
yeah, and fundamentally, Daniel, sorry, James, fundamentally, no matter who you put in charge, how many trophies you win, how many trophies you lose, that man is still sitting upstairs. And he's still sitting
of
there,
course,
coining it in, right? You could win every trophy under the sun.
yeah,
That man really is a money man. And sooner he goes, really, the better it's going to be. Because he still dictates. He still says, well, that plays 50 million, I'm going to offer you 10. This is the kind of the guy we're dealing with. And he's the cancer of the club. People go, oh, well,
yeah,
we've got a lovely stadium, look what he's done. And that's brilliant. That's lovely. But it's like going into a nice hotel, and when you get into the bedroom, everything's all dirty and the sheets are dirty, and there's no good to you. You paid all that money when you've got squatters living in there. So really, Levy is the issue here.
But I
Not
mean,
what
like you said,
actually is
is
my
this the
trophy.
start of good things to come for Tottenham though? If they've won a Europa League and you're saying that you go walk into this place and everything's dirty, is it going to start to clean up a little bit now that you're on a bit of a roll, maybe?
To be honest with you, I want Levy out. Right? We've always wanted him out. It's
Yeah,
been always been like that. I don't believe for a minute he wants us not to win. I think he's a Tottenham fan. He wants us to win trophies, but it's not his priority. So I hope he does back, even if it's Ange or whoever else comes in and backs him. Because he says he spends money. He does, but we're buying players that we don't really need or they don't fit. Give you an example. Harry Redknapp years ago wanted Samuel Eto'o. He was a free agent. The wages were fine. And we ended up buying Fraser Campbell from Sunderland.
Yeah.
So I think Darren Bent was the other one.
Darren Bent, Darren Bent.
Darren Bent instead of Eto'o. So you can see the difference in quality there.
Yeah.
But really, for me, hopefully he does stay. We can push on again. Because one thing I will say about Postecoglou, the players love him. They're behind him. There's no friction there. They all want to play for him. Even when they're not starting,
He was very humble when you won that trophy. He kind of stood to the side, and I think it was Romero that came over to him and said, "No, come on, get in with this."
Yeah, he called him over. So, but no, I want him to stay. There's a lot that don't want him to stay, which I can understand both arguments, James, because I get it. I do, and I was in that camp a few weeks ago. But I think he's earned the right. I really do to have at least another 6 months.
Yeah. It's a bit of a weird one. I mean, if you was to ask me about he's been there 2 seasons. He's won a trophy. Arteta's been there 5 years, and came off the back of half a season, won an FA Cup with someone else's team. I mean, it's with me. It should. I think it towards Arsenal way. Arsenal should be looking at their side and going. I think he's hit a bit of a brick wall right now. And this leads back to my next. Sorry,
you're talking about Arteta.
Yeah, Arteta. Yeah. So with me, it's a bit of a weird one because you see, and the way Ange is now with his team, and I'm saying how I want to say it is. I hope it's not like that. It's going to be better things to come for Tottenham, but the way it's looking, you're probably looking at a bright day and a brighter season next season for Tottenham, because
Yeah.
that's just giving you an absolute uplift for a trophy. Whereas with an Arsenal perspective, with us, we've had 3 seasons on the trot of coming second, which is, I think he's now just hit a big wall in a sense, because he had the chance to buy a striker in January and he didn't want to do it because he wanted to be selfish and be like that. I want to win the league without a striker and be the unique one, you know, and that's not how football's won. You know, you need to back your team up with incoming players every season.
Yeah, I mean,
but I want to quickly ask you now on that point. Then, has Tottenham had the better season than Arsenal?
Well, Harry, you want to answer this one because he's been dying to answer this one all day. And so, what do you think? Have Tottenham had a better season than Arsenal?
Oh yeah, surely.
Yeah, and why do you think it is?
Because we won the trophy.
Because we won a trophy. So us finishing 17th doesn't matter.
Well, 17th is the problem. It depends really. I think Arsenal just bottled it all the time, and then Tottenham's won the trophy, and you're second in the last 3 seasons.
Okay. Do you know what? Let
me put it this way, right? Would you rather win? Okay, I'm going to put it in this sense because I'm even going to put the Champions League in there because there's a very slim chance of even that happening. So would you rather go next season finishing 17th and winning the FA Cup, okay, or coming second and not winning a trophy next season?
That's a tough one.
It's a bit of a tough one. It's a tricky one because if you look at the league that you're looking at, this is what I was pondering about. Because, all right, it's another trophy in your cabinet, but then still in the same kind of situation you was last season.
Isn't the aim of football to win?
To win stuff. It is completely, yeah.
So to answer your question, 17th in FA Cup, because
17th
you're a winner. You're a winner.
Yeah.
You know,
but then
no matter what happens,
if you came second next season, right?
Yeah.
But you didn't win a trophy, would you not have in the back of your mind this is one step further to get winning the Premier League?
Oh, listen, if we finish second in the Premier League, you must be playing FIFA because they probably won't happen. But if we did finish second,
you don't know. This is football.
If we finish second in the league, I don't mind finishing second as long as it's not behind you. Then that's a good. It's a great season. But it'd be an even better season if you can put a bit of silverware in the
silverware on it. Yeah, this is some of the arguments that I do have because this is where if it had been Arteta's 3rd season only and he was coming second every time, but this is not just 3rd season. It's his 5th coming into his 6th season. So you know, then it's a bit of an argument that you could have. You know, with views, if you was finishing second next season, that's a massive uproar, and you didn't win anything because you've got that Europa League last season.
If any team that finishes in the top 4 or 5 now,
or 6. It's you know what? It's gonna be 6 every season now. You watch.
It might be, but the proof's in the pudding. It's all good. It's all good winning stuff, right? And finishing second, but you've got to progress the following year. There's no point going, right, we've won the Europa League and that's it now. We're back to finishing 8th and not winning anything. You've got to carry on and you've got to continue. With Arsenal, as a Tottenham fan, I think it's great what's happening with your club at the minute because you're not winning anything. He seems like a maniac on that touchline. I don't think that's helping when his arms up in the air and all that. You've named your dog called Win, and you don't win anything. So you're sort of in a position of Tottenham now.
I don't know, mate. We're champions of Europe. I don't know what you're on about.
Oh, you talk about the women's, are you? I would swap second every day for a trophy every year. I'll finish 10th, 11th, 12th every year and get a trophy. Look at Palace, for example, Newcastle. You know what it means to them. To win.
But then would you? Now you've won the Europa League. Next season, say you win the Carabao Cup, you still have the things that they did down at Newcastle? You can have an open bus parade and
Well, Newcastle went a little bit overboard because they've not won anything in 70
70
years.
years. Yeah,
We
yeah,
probably wouldn't have an open. We didn't have a parade for the 2008 one. We turned it down. So
yeah,
probably
yeah, yeah.
not.
Probably not.
Probably
No,
not.
no, no,
If we got
no.
another pot with it, then maybe we could do that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just to me with Tottenham, I can't see them finishing any lower than what they have already. I think next season I can't remember where I put his in my
Yeah, I think first 8th or 7th was it?
eighth or so. I do think
Yeah,
I think you'll get up there again. You will be pushing to get into Europe again. But
yeah. We get a lot of
you
injuries in
can't
the
be as
games. The problem,
huh?
isn't it? The injuries are the problem. Sorry to try. It's because the way we play such a high line. It's constant running, and these
Yeah,
players are doing
yeah,
their ligaments, and they're out for
yeah,
a while. You know,
yeah.
even a little
It's
touch on
true.
like Kulusevski, for example, he's out, and he barely got
Yeah,
touched. So
yeah,
yeah, there's a lot of that going on. That needs to change, and
yeah,
also if Ange is going to stay, he's got to change the way he plays. He's got a
yeah,
shot
yeah,
up
yeah.
shot. He did it in the final. He put a
It's just
defender
who
on.
we are, mate. It's just who we
Well, that's who
are.
we are, mate. He did it. He put Danso on and took off a midfielder to shore it
Yeah, yeah.
up. Do that. It's how you got to be.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're being ugly, you
I
know.
mean, at least you've got your backup keeper ready, Van der Ven. I mean, that offline kick. Wait, that was immense. Do you know what?
Never
I had to
seen
give it
anything
to him.
like it. I mean, that was flying
Ever.
in, wasn't it? And
Yeah, it was.
yeah, it was better than the goal, I think, to be honest. And then the save at the end from Vicario,
Yeah, yeah,
it was at him, but he still needs to make it. And then they've had that overhead kick in the 97th minute, which went wide, and that we knew then we won it. But there's a lot of belief. There's a lot of belief, James, within the supporters, the team, the staff at Tottenham. There's a lot of belief that we're going to win this. The build-up was bigger than the Champions League one. With the Champions League final, it just something didn't seem right from the start. And we got a lot of luck getting to that final, to be fair. But we came it's a very poor Man United side in this final. And I think if you could choose any Premier League team other than the bottom three to play in the final, you pick Man United.
yeah.
Because they're so
Oh, yeah.
soft. They're so soft, you know.
Yeah. I think it would have been a much different final if you'd been playing Bilbao.
Well, Bilbao, they put 7 past them over 2 games, Man United.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
So, it's, but they've got worse problems than we have. So long may that continue as well. Because,
Yeah. I think as long as you're looking at finishing above West Ham, that's what you want to. That's what you've been looking at because West Ham are massive at the moment, apparently.
They're massive and they finished above us for the first time in God knows how many years. But, as they sing all the time, we're champions of Europe. At least we've got a more credible European trophy than they have.
Yeah.
You know what? If you won the Conference League, first of all, you've got to think why you're in it. Why are you in it in the first place? You've got to question
I mean,
that.
this is what I will argue the fact now. If I don't see an English team get to that final of the Europa League and the Conference League every season, I mean, look, Jose Mourinho, he called it out with the Europa League. He went Spurs and United to be in that final.
He did. And I think because the Champions League teams don't drop in it anymore,
it's made it.
Again, we don't make the rules. That's how it is. And I think it's made it a bit more open. Like Bodo Glimt would probably never got to that semi-final without the Champions League teams dropping in.
Because you'd have had the likes of Atletico and that dropping down.
Yeah. You can only beat what's put in front. I mean, don't get us wrong. We had Galatasaray, we had Rangers, we had Roma in the group stage. These are not easy games, and we only won.
Yeah.
We drew 2 of them and lost 1. So it wasn't an easy ride. All right, we had Elfsborg.
But I'm saying the Premier League is by far the league in the world at the moment. With teams.
Yeah.
And like I'm saying, there's no argument that English teams. I want to see Forest in that final. And well, no, but you got to say how it is.
Do you actually really?
Not like cheer them on to get there, but I'd expect them to be there because of the standards of what the Premier League is compared to the rest of the teams that are in it.
Yeah, I think there's two divisions in the Premier League. You've got your top 6 or 7, and then the middle section is a separate league altogether. Because this middle section, like Fulham, Palace, Forest, whoever, they're not going to win the league.
Yeah.
But I think the rest are a little bit further clear. With British teams in Europe, just a point on that, by the way, I get slated for this a lot. Oh, you should be supporting British teams in Europe, and you should be. No, let's get this right. Let's be honest. You're an Arsenal fan. There's no way.
It's worse than putting. If you're a Tottenham fan, it's worse than putting an Arsenal shirt on, isn't it?
Well, Tottenham fans wearing Arsenal shirts. That's another debate, James. But right, let me tell you something. Let's be honest with me. When you watched the final on Wednesday, if you did watch it, you might have been watching Coronation Street, and I don't blame you. Right?
I watched it. I did a hate
Let's
along.
Be honest. When you played PSG, me and him, we were French for the night. We don't want you to. We're Tottenham. Let's be honest.
Of course,
Let's be honest.
Of course.
Right.
Oh, no, I was hoping Man United would score. Of course, I was.
So if Tottenham were playing, I don't know, Ajax, a random foreign team, you would still support Ajax, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, do you know what? I had to clap you when you got to past that semi-final. Was it against Ajax?
Oh, the Champions League?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it was it a last minute? Was it last second thing or something? You scored.
Last second, we needed a goal to go through, and he got it. He got
and do you know what? As much as it pained me, I did have to clap that because I was like, it's just. But it pained me like severely. Going, they're going to be in the final. You know, it's that's the way it works. And like carry on, like you said, it's just it is one of them.
I can't. For example, if Man City won the Champions League, I'll be like, yeah, okay. I'm not going to go mad about it. I'm not going to go, oh, brilliant. Or Man United. Obviously, Arsenal, Chelsea, West Ham, they're our rivals. There's not a hope in hell any of those supporters of those clubs would want Spurs to win anything. And that's just how it is. It's nothing bad. There's nothing wrong with that. That's just built in you. But any fan who cheers on another London club and goes, oh, this is great, i.e. Chelsea, give it a rest. Why? What do you gain out of it? Just gain embarrassment.
There's nothing you gain out of it.
I've got a Chelsea fan at work, and he says to me, "I hope you get." He said to me, "I hope you get smashed against Man United." I said, "Fair play to you. That's what I want to hear. I want you to be like that because you're Chelsea."
That's why I did a hate along. I mean, I set up my own hate along thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
I would expect that. I would not expect an Arsenal fan to go, "Oh, good luck, Tottenham in the final." I'll be like, "What? No."
The only time I'm saying that is to say it sarcastically. Good luck.
I wouldn't even do that. But I mean, when Arsenal got past Madrid, I'm like, "Oh, bloody hell!" I thought I can't be having this.
You do that.
I thought I can't be having this. And then our chat, chat on Facebook, we're watching Emmerdale tonight and Corey.
This person, the pub blew up.
Pub Vic blew up.
For the 50th time.
But I wouldn't. I don't see why any Tottenham fan or any fan of any club with their rivals would want them to win. It's a English club in Europe. So what? We hate them all. We hate them for 9 months of the year, James. Why would we want to cheer them on? The only time
in that fact, I don't want any team to win a trophy. But if Liverpool gets the final of the Champions League or Europa League, and I don't want to see them lifting a trophy because it's not your team. It's not. It's nothing. It's nothing personal against the fans. It's just yourself.
But the new age football fan, James, will tell you that you have to support a British or English club in Europe because that's what you should do. Well, I'm sorry. I disagree strongly with that. And at least I'm honest with it. I say to you, look, don't like Arsenal, don't like Chelsea, don't like West Ham, and that's how it is.
Yeah.
And when he sees a shirt in the street, it's built in him. He goes, it's just built in him. The kid could be about 4, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah. because the kids should know better.
Give it some, Harry. Give it some.
Exactly.
But listen, quickly before we leave this this podcast, I just want to quickly on this next couple of minutes, your thoughts on Song and what lies on his future at Tottenham. And
Son, I know you love Son because I know we've had this conversation before, haven't we? You said you will take him.
It was good to see Song win something. I think he deserves it, you know.
He's been there 10 years. He's only been captain the last 2. But he's performed every single season. He has dipped off a little bit this year, but he's getting older. But I couldn't be more happy for him because he's deserved it. Harry Kane, as much as we love him, he did jump ship. And maybe rightly at the time, well, I've had enough of this. I've been here 10, 11 years, not won anything.
And won himself a cannon. Won himself a cannon.
He won a cannon? What was that for?
So their golden boot over there is a cannon.
Oh, is it? I didn't know that. Right. I didn't probably put that in the bin straight away. I'm happy for him, really am. And I really do think, I think he'd be there at least next season, 100%. And then maybe 2 years, and maybe then he might retire or go off to Saudi. But he's like you've got Henry as a statue outside your stadium. I think he deserves one. Yeah, and Kane as well, even though he's not there. But for sure, he's phenomenal. And you said yourself how good he is, and he's a nice person, isn't he? It's the other thing. You know, he just loves everyone.
He does. He does. Fair play to him.
He got a card against Everton a couple of years back. He injured Gomez for a while, and he walked off crying because he didn't mean to do it.
I remember that. Yeah, he was furious with himself.
Normally you just walk off and you kick a chair, and he says sorry to him. But I hope he stays. I think he will. But,
we're gonna have to leave it there anyway, Johnny and Harry. Thank you very much for coming on for both of you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well deserved, and we hope to get you back on. I'm away next week, so maybe the week after we'll get you back on for some more.
Maybe meet with Mr. Nash as well. That'd be quite nice.
We'll have a little debate going on. We'll have a debate. Thanks for both of you coming. All right, and enjoy the rest of your week. All right, take it easy. All right, take care.
Bye.
Up the Arsenal.